Right now, here is a look at footage from NASA of tonight's supermoon. Now, that means there's a full moon and the moon is the closest it will ever be to Earth. At the same time, we're also looking at a lunar eclipse. This is a combination that scientists say will not happen again until the year 2033. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm immediately joined by meteorologist Sonia Stevens, who I'm calling also our resident scientist, with more on the supermoon and explaining how it impacts specifically us and our weather. Officials say one person has died after being shot in a home invasion this morning. Berkeley County deputies say it happened on McChrystal Circle off Highway 17A near Monk's Corner. Coroner Bill Salisbury says the victim was shot in either the leg or the hip area. The coroner has not released the victim's name. Investigators say the break-in was likely drug-related, and they say they do not yet have a suspect. Charleston police say an armed man assaulted a woman downtown early this morning. Authorities say the attack happened around 1 o'clock on Bogard Street. And police say a man came up to the woman outside her apartment, ordered her into a nearby parking lot, and fondled her. She says he then hit her in the face and took her cell phone before running away. Police describe the suspect as a black man in his early 20s, about 6 feet tall, with a slender build, medium complexion, and a short afro haircut. Cleanup efforts from the tornado on Johns Island continue today. County officials also say all the roads in that area have since reopened. Friday morning's EF2 tornado caused a line of destruction 7 miles long and half a mile wide across Johns Island and West Ashley. Despite a lot of damage, luckily no one was hurt. And the county asks drivers to be cautious on their way to work tomorrow morning. They say crews will still be out cleaning up. Another low-country neighborhood is now worrying about the danger of coyotes. Sullivan's Island officials are already taking steps to keep its citizens safe, and now one Mount Pleasant neighborhood is hoping it can do the same. ABC News 4's CJ Jackson reports. And again, that was ABC News 4's CJ Jackson reporting. Right now, Princeton University and University of Georgia researchers are studying coyotes here in South Carolina, as well as in Georgia and Alabama. And they say they'll have some answers to better understand that animal within the next couple of years. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says it's reviewing hundreds of public comments on the proposed cruise terminal project. The Corps will weigh those comments in its decision whether to issue a federal permit for that project. The Corps could say no and force the Ports Authority to do an extensive environmental study first. Officials say that could take up to a whole year. The Ports Authority has already gotten state approval, but that's being challenged in a state appeals court. Veterans of foreign wars honored Senator Tim Scott today. The Murrells Inlet VFW laid a brick for Scott in a memorial service this morning. It honors his work on behalf of military veterans, and Scott will host his next Tim's Town Hall event tomorrow night in Myrtle Beach. That guest, a very familiar face, presidential candidate and fellow South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Officials say a fifth person has died after the deadly collision between a tourist bus and a duck boat in Seattle recently. Officials say the latest victim was a 20-year-old woman. She was an international student attending the North Seattle College. All 5 people who died from the accident were students at that school. Officials say dozens more were injured in the crash, and the National Transportation Safety Board says a potentially dangerous failure in the duck boat's axles was discovered in 2013. But investigators say the vehicle involved in last week's crash had not received a fix for that problem. The NTSB says the duck boat involved in the crash was built in 1945 and was last refurbished in 2005. Still to come tonight on ABC News 4 at 11, we'll tell you what the Pope did on his last day in the United States. We want to give credit to our photojournalist, Chris O'Rourke, who took the initiative to go outside and take that really cool time lapse. I think it was over, what, a half hour or an hour?
Yeah, we were out there off and on for about an hour.
I know you were sitting out there for a little while. Yeah. She got a little bit of her weather geek on.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us exactly what is happening with the moon tonight.
Okay.
Super cool. Thanks for telling us about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope everyone got to look out your door tonight and take a look. If you haven't gotten to take a look, I think they say you have about 10 minutes to get your peak viewing time in.
Right.
11:23 is your deadline.
Yeah,
so.
about 10 minutes.
All right, we're back with sports after this. Welcome back. Pope Francis ended his historic tour of the United States today in Philadelphia. Chris Welch shows us how the pontiff capped off his busy trip. And this is new video tonight of the Pope arriving at the Philadelphia airport. Vice President Joe Biden was there as Pope Francis boarded the American Airlines jet bound for Italy. Well, still to come in sports, a day to remember for CSU and the Citadel. We'll revisit that crosstown rivalry and Panthers fans hoping to see something they had not witnessed in a while. Karen Stoltzfus will explain. Sports 4 is next.
Should be a huge one. Biggest game of the weekend.
Yeah, it's always exciting for the students when they come to town.
And it's always exciting for you guys because you get to watch that game, stay up late, do the news afterwards.
Right here on ABC News 4. All right, good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.